연휴 마지막 날입니다. 월요일 날 새벽에 일어나서 1차 공부를 했다가 잠 좀 붙이고 다시 5시 10분 기상입니다. 자, 아침 루틴을 좀 목소리 내면서 시작을 하겠습니다. You can win. A step-by-step tool for top achievers. Winners don't do different things. They do things differently. What a lesson to be learned from Wilma. It teaches us that successful people do it in spite of, not in the absence of problems. The alter ego effect. The power of secret identities to transform your life. They didn't realize we were equal partners. The 1-minute entrepreneurs, the secret to creating and sustaining a successful business. How do you do that exactly? I asked Judd, who killed the creativity, and how can we get it back? It would be interesting to see what would happen within corporations if, for 100 days, it was forbidden to talk about profit, losses, stockholders, competition, and market share. Creativity. Rules are there to be challenged. Truth 29. Don't forget the obvious. Coach yourself to win. 7 steps to breakthrough performance on the job and in your life. You can then transfer your plan to the template when it is completed. template. 20-something, a valuable resource for women to determine their strengths and weaknesses, and then to apply those discoveries toward realizing their life dreams. Who am I when I sit behind a desk all day? It's okay to manage your boss. Try to get each boss involved in ongoing written tracking. Trump, though I want him to lose. You can fault Trump. You can fault Trump for coarseness, but you can't pretend we don't live in a coarse age. Coarse. Soul wisdom, practical soul treasure to transform your life. To clear karma, it to remove these dark gray and black dots, small flowers and big flowers. Karma. Performing coaches, a complete guide to best practice, coaching and training. Pitfalls of using the TKI. As with all tools which attempt to define personality, There are pitfalls to look out for when the process can run contrary to the coaching ethos. The resulting categorization may act as a label that the person then unconsciously started to fit herself into, thereby limiting his or her own potential. Ethos. But part of the perception that there might be something untoward going to between heterosexual opposite sex friend is grounded in psychological reality, something untoward. $1 billion habits, 10 simple steps to getting everything you want in life. Eliminating drained people. Eliminating drained people from your life can be a difficult task. One reason for this is that sidestepping a persistent drained person can cause significant discomfort. One reason for this is that sidestepping a persistent drained person can cause intentional living, choosing a life that matters. Its true meaning comes from the Greek word synergia, which means working together. 게너머로 배우다. 미요 미만했대. 미요 미만했대. 맛없고시니 맛없고 창문 너머로 맛없고시니 미요 미만했대. 미요 미만했대. 나라우. 고가 어초즈ですね。いやいや、見よ見まね、見よ見まねってちょっと覚えただけですよ。 My children do not understand my world, and I do not understand theirs, and yet I cannot help believing that my children have lost something, the determination born of suffering. 人生と仕事を変える小さな習慣250。これは心理学ではカメレオン効果と呼ばれている現状で、心理的な距離感が近い人同士は会話をしている際に同じ姿勢や動作をとったり、言葉の調子やトーンが似てくるというものです。会話ではカメレオン効果を意識して相手の姿勢を真似る。自分の時間の作り方。自分時間愛する編。私たちも13時という深夜中の夢の時間にきっと象徴の頃の自分や友のような少年と出会うことができるでしょう。Every Monday matters. How to kick your week off with passion, purpose, and positivity. How is it possible that we have created a culture where it is easier to ignore one another than it is to engage in the simplest of friendly gesture? The recent case was all the more shocking since the attacker this time was found to be a 15-year-old middle school student. Success 101. What every leader needed to know. A leader not only stays above the line between right and wrong, he stays well clear of the gray areas. How to raise an adult, break free of the overparenting trap, and prepare your kids for success. But if you are not prepared to be wrong, you'll never come up with anything original. The luck habit. What the luckiest people think, know, and do, and how it can change your life. As the Michael suggests, offering what is easiest for you may bear no relation to what is wanted. So few people seem to realize this. The most important thing, uncommon sense for the thoughtful investor. And what an investor to do about it. Chase the lion. If your dream doesn't scare you, it's too small. This past year, we hit a new high, $2,005,000, but it started with $50 base. Motivation 新法則。精神面で支援するかしないか。もちろんもう一度不幸にはなれません。The step-by-step program for making the best of your most important relationship at work reputed to be undermanaged, but forced. You have to take a giant pause and decide whether you are really ready for change. Don't sweat the small stuff for teens. Simple ways to keep your cool in stressful times. As you listen, notice how your mind tends to fill with other things: plans, answers, ideas, questions, fears, fantasies, whatever. The authenticity code, the art and science of success, and why you can't fake it to make it. Maintaining good eye contact. Maintaining good eye contact when speaking. The psychology of money. Timeless lesson on wealth, greed, and happiness. He was also a recluse, spending most of his time by himself. Body mind. The more we worked together, the more I saw that most of the tension in his jaw resulted from the simple fact that he had been trying to squeeze broken words out of his throat for years with no success. Leadership Power Plays: How the world's most powerful executives reach the top of their game. Power Move: Splintering, splintering. Splintering from a parent organization is a bold move, and the new group may not achieve all of its organization goals. Splintering. 강가의 전이 아다마우스가오. 시아의3週間前からスタートをしました。Did seven other eyes of the Lord. How to handle your emotion, anger. Dory never received the love and affection. Her heart so deeply craved. Exactly what to say. The magic words for influence and impact. The magic words: I bet you are a bit like me. I bet that you are a bit like me, often result in the other person comfortably agreeing with you. Outside the box. Though the 1950s and the 1960s are series of influential books, Rachel Carson's Silent Spring, documenting the effects of the insecticide, DDT on fish, birds, and humans, the population bomb, a 1968 bestseller in which the Stanford University biologist Paul warned that overpopulation was bringing unavoidable starvation. The Limits to Growth, a 1972 sensation that used novel computer models to forecast a rather sudden and uncontrollable decline in both population and industrial capacity due to overconsumption brought the environmental issues front and center. Overpopulation. Growth. The KDI said the exports softened the economic slowdown, but warned about continued problems with slow private consumption and facility investment, citing persistently high interest rate as one of the key factors. 2002 ways to cheer yourself up is life giving you lemons. Make lemonade. Make the lemonade. Choose yourself. Be happy. Make millions. Live the dream. I have no opinion on that one. Strategy beyond the hockey stick. People, probabilities, and big moves to beat the odds. From annual planning to strategy as a journey. When you ask business leaders around the world where they make most strategic decisions, the answer is rarely in the strategy room or the boardroom. You are much more likely to hear in the shower before I went to meet my senior team or over the dinner conversation with the CEO of my major customers. One of our clients in East Asia regularly make the most important business decision on the Gold Coast. On the Gold Coast, in consultation with his three fortune tellers, with whom he regularly plays. We are not kidding. Others confirm that going for a walk with other key decision makers, help them with the alignment and direction setting, and reduce anxiety and opposition. In 2020, Swift endorsed Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris in an interview with V magazine, noting that under their leadership, I believe America has a chance to start the healing process it so desperately needs. In the infinity of life, all is perfect, whole, and complete. You incorporated the art of selling yourself. There's a reminder here. We are not perfectly rational. なぜ日本の若者は自立できないのか。このタイプの子供にとっても、教育が同じようにその後の特性を伸ばし、自立に役立つためには、こうした特性を持った子供に対する教育の内容や方法を根本から考え直す必要があるように思う。君を成長させる言葉。どうでもいい人にはすでに優しくできるものである。誰とでも仲良く楽しくやりたいよね。The Vegetarian Miss Food, a wonderful book full of soulful teachings and appropriate rage. And I ate precisely the opposite. All the pretty horse called the mountain. No prominent Democrats have argued that Mr. Trump won't be the Republican nominee. On purpose, the power to remain calm, strong, and competent in every season. When you excel, when your gift come out in great ways, don't be surprised if people get jealous. How to survive your freshman year. People needed to go out and party. Doing work you love, discovering the purpose and realizing your dreams. If you are committed to your goal, and this meeting will potentially support your objective, speak with a sense of urgency. $1,789 words of wisdom. One bad apple will spoil the whole battle. 夢を叶える、不可能を可能にする、自立型思考のバイブル。自立型思考。これは23歳で創業した私が何事も思い通りにならない環境の中で自分で見出した考え方です。A third place. Foghorns will always remind me of my adolescence and riding bike out on early spring weekend morning with my friends, a band of 12-year-olds biking it to the bay, through the fog and up to the docks. On clear days we could see Fire Island, but some mornings we couldn't even see each other, and being that close to the water so early meant feeling the booming vibration from foghorns. I can still smell the marsh on the nearby river and feel the cool wetness of the salty air on my skin. Foghorn. Our daily bread. That is the last shadow before heaven's dawn. The Good Divorce, a survival guide from one of the world's most famous matrimonial lawyers. Betty found herself alone, despised for being an American, and treated as a slave by her husband's family. Be happy. Release the power of happiness in you. Therefore, that which created you, God, Brahma, Source, Spirit, Allah, or any other name, must naturally want you to be happy too. The daily story, the daily story. The way we nervously worry about some looming bad news, looming, looming bad news is strange if you think about it. Stepping up, how taking responsibility changes everything. On the other hand, those who were high in verbal aggression were consistently rated the lowest by managers. Yes, 50 scientifically proven ways to be persuasive. If you use this strategy, like cars at the car wash, your influence will sparkle. Your influence will sparkle. Language development. Handbooks of developmental psychology. Research on research. Research on child bilingual code mixing has been pursued with two primary goals in mind: to identify its grammatical and its functional properties in order to determine if it is rule governed or a sign of confusion. People by you. You must exert you must exert a tremendous amount of self-discipline to manage every behavior, promise, and action while in front of your audience. Money doesn't grow on trees. A parent's guide to raising financially responsible children. When you buy shares of individual stock, You and your child will receive as stockbrokers a copy of the company's annual report. What's the fastest way to learn a language? Act like a baby. It's not the advice you'd expect. It feels like the Roe v. Wade is under threat in a way that it hasn't been in recent memory. The 100 things successful people do, little exercise for successful living. Always try to understand and remember the promises and the agreements you make with those closest to you. 우레르 세르스 토크. テレビジョンショッピングの父が初めて語るわかりやすくてハッピーなセルス教本。実は人見知りです。疲れる人になる。あなたから買いたいと思ってもらいたい。Meditation to heal your life. I have a good self-esteem, and I'm safe. Talking Incorporated, how trusted leaders use conversation to power their organization. Formulating a cohesive communication plan for an organization is inherently an effort that entails some degree of centralization. Teaching by principles, an interactive approach to language pedagogy. Read a short wanted ad describing job qualification in the employment section of a newspaper. Wanted ad. Want ad. Digital at scale. The playbook you needed to transform your company. The managers of the unit build up their core team, and then get to work. Bipolar disorder for dummies. Locking up your legal issues. Locking up. People rarely break the law during spells of depression. locking up your legal issue.人生を幸福に満たす20の方法。結局私はお嬢さんに導かれて彼女の師匠をする音大の先生の門下に入ることができた。Among the treasures on display is a handmade wooden toy Sendak and his brother tried to sell to FAO. She was above center. Let my people go shopping, including 10 more years of biddings unusual, the education of a reluctant businessman. Ripple workers are sold in fishing stores in Hawaii. Real age, are you as young as you can be? An age reduction program that can make you live and feel up to 26 years younger. Increase your vitality in mind and body. If you feel sore after a workout, especially the next day, don't worry. How to think like a CEO. The 2020-22 vital traits. You need to be the person at the top. In all decision making, you finally have to choose. Multipliers. How the best leaders make everyone smarter. Working the extremes by paying attention to your highs and lows while ignoring the middle, offers an efficient and sustainable pathway to leadership development. How to make anyone fall in love with you. Huntresses, if your quarry gets lost, bite your tongue until it bleeds, if you must, but do not suggest he ask for direction. Change we can believe in. Barack Obama's plan to renew America's promise. Thank you, Iowa. You know they said this day would never come. The wisdom and the teachings of Stephen R. Covey. People were sitting quietly, some reading newspapers, some lost in thought, some lost in thought, some resting with their eyes closed. It was a calm, peaceful scene. 10 powerful praise for positive people. We pack a shipping container with Amway product manufactured at our plant in Ada, Michigan, and put the container on a truck or train for delivery to the West Coast, where it's loaded on a ship headed for Tokyo. sex, murder, and the meaning of life. A psychologist investigates how evolution, cognition, and complexity are revolutionizing our view of human nature. Chapter 12, Bad Crowds, Chaotic Attractors, and Humans as Ends. I thought as a boy growing up As a boy growing up in the 1950s, of course, I thought that James Dean like characters with their greased pompadour haircuts and lucky strikes dangling from sneering mouths were kind of cool. Thanks. Range. Why generalists triumph in a specialized world. At ignition, at ignition, burning gas came shooting down the booster. Your next 5 moves master the art of bidding strategy. Then take steps to mitigate those potential worst events. Mismeasuring our lives. Why GDP doesn't add up. While established methodologies and data sources can be used to measure inequalities in the distribution of economic resources in a fairly reliable way, the situation is much less satisfactory with respect to the non monetary dimension of quality of life. The age of surveillance capitalism, the fight for human future at the new frontier of power. Finally, M understood that any confrontation of social norms crucially depend upon the ability to escape. 1001 ways to introduce your child to the Bible. Here are the places of Japania, Judah, a city in the southern kingdom where some of God's people lived. A content-based grammar. Perhaps there are days when you are forced to sit at your desk with nothing to do, watching the clock, but you must not leave because you are at work. Each of these situations create the stress. NFTs. Get to know what an NFT is and what it isn't. The information stored in stated variables can also be accessed by other smart contracts if they are declared as public stated variables. Win at work, succeed at life. 5 principles to free yourself from the cult of overwork. Many high achievers are functionally working with the judgment of an inebriant. Boyfriend candidate quickly reveals his true intention. Dear perturbed, I do not agree. Dear old friends can say just about anything to each other without them overreacting the way you seem to have. The purpose-driven life. Reflections on what on earth am I here for? Point to ponder. There's always a way out. Daily rituals. How artists work. How artists work. It is said that some artists abuse their need for copy, alcohol, or opium. Anti-Semitism, talkative, rambling, roundabout. The purpose-driven life. What on earth am I here for? Because your agenda will be whatever God wants to bring into your life. Secrets of happy people. So you have everything you need to plot your maximum growth, to plot your maximum growth potential for happiness, and every reason to believe you can get it there. For us, waiting is too often merely the terrible kind of uncertainty. AI will change medicine, but not what it means to be a doctor. And this is just the start. The winner's way. A proven method for achieving your personal best in any situation. Post-operative debriefing. Attentional style can be conceptualized along 2 axes, narrow, broad, internal, external debriefing. Take the stairs, 7 steps to achieving true success. You can be sure if you are living the life you are destined for, unless you are doing every single thing in your power to make your life better. Fear not tomorrow. God is already there. Trusting Him in uncertain times. Realize His restoration. She was so humiliated and hurt and angry. Don't sweat the small stuff, and it's all small stuff. Simple ways to keep the little things from taking over your life. How often do we try to do more than one thing at once? Getting more. How to negotiate to achieve your goals in the real world. The 12 invisible strategies that change everything you thought you knew about the negotiating. The database company changed its mind and said yes. Ten global trends every smart person should know, and many others you will find interesting. Tech trends. Yeah. Trend 60, access to electricity. Access to electricity. The International Energy Agency notes is particularly crucial to human development, as electricity is in practice indispensable for certain basic activities such as lighting, refrigeration, and the running of household appliances, and cannot easily be replaced by other forms of energy. Don't sweat the small stuff in love. The solution is quite simple and may take only a few minutes. Never give up. Relentless determination to overcome life's challenge. As an adult, the more I thought about my past and all the good I was never able to experience in life, the angrier I became without even realizing why. The silo effect, the peril of expertise, and the promise of breaking down barriers. Conclusion, connecting the dots. Connecting the dots. The real voyage of discovery consists not in seeking new landscape, but in having new eyes. Not in seeking new landscapes, but in having new eyes. Connecting the dots. Currency trading for dummies. Relax. Nothing is especially scientific or particularly complicated about technical analysis. Change is good, you go first. 21 ways to inspire change. In several instances, I saw him taking notes and listening intently to what passengers were saying. Quitting. mastering the art of quitting, why it matters in life, love, and work. But L and colleagues also point out that all of these various circumstances combined only account for 8 to 15% variation in happiness levels. This relatively weak association have been deemed surprising and paradoxical, given well-being researchers' initial expectation that circumstantial factors such as income and physical health would be strongly related to happiness. Circumstantial factors such as income and physical health. Paradoxical. Med School. Confidential, a complete guide to the medical school experience when you sit down with the residency interview. You want to make certain that you leave a strong overall impression and convey one or two key things you want them to remember as they go back to discuss the days at the candidate residency. Alone together. Why we expect more from technology and less from each other? Through compassion. I'm in love with a boy I've never met, but I am each other every day and talk about what we'll do or where we live when we are married. My bulimia has made me better at giving blowjobs. So for the day, whether or not the path makes sense to me, I will follow God. Prayer, God of all our steps, thank you for lighting our path, and for your presence in our lives. Amen. Thanks, Dad. One-on-one stories of gratitude, love, and good times. The bond between fathers and daughters, making the ties that bind. Thanks, Dad. The difference maker, making your attitudes your greatest asset. As actor M said, you always pass failure on the way to success. Putting your past in its place, moving forward in freedom and forgiveness. Those who confess their sin to God and others regularly have an empty bucket, empty bucket and try to keep it empty. Encouragement changes everything. There are really four kind of people when it comes to relationship to the mess. 21 ways to finding peace and happiness, overcoming anxiety, fear, and discontentment every day. Don't be in a hurry. Don't be in a hurry. Here comes everybody. The logic of published and filter means that new social systems have to tolerate enormous amount of failure. Fortunately, the same people who balk at command will open voluntarily take action if persuaded that it will help them get what they want. Balk.聖書のパワー物語、人生を変える虹の火です。簡単なことを実行すること。自分の人生を変える二つ目の方法は、簡単なことを実行することです。Real magic, creating miracle in everyday life. This is difficult to accept when you have been thoroughly indoctrinated to believe that some have talent and others don't. Indoctrinated. Mr. Ann said that in discussing Mr. A's ouster with the OpenAI board, he had not been told about any issues, and so he retained confidence in Mr. Altman. Perfect Health, the complete mind-body guide. The early and middle stages of addiction are the most treatable because the body can be guided to rebalance itself. Originals, how non-conformists move the world. Just flying solo with an opinion can make even a committed original fearful enough to conform to the majority. この悲惨な世の中でくじけないために20体で大切にしたい80のこと。読み終えた瞬間、あなたの365日がからりと変わる。自分の無限の可能性を今すぐ引き出せ。朝の習慣、幸運の引き寄せる朝の習慣。朝を大切にすれば人生が変わる。手を握れば 慎重に優しく継承できる。116歳のスキップ。私は96歳まで人のために生きてきた。韓国語は65歳から。他国の言葉を覚えるにはある種の才能が必要だというか、私はレシーが最初になければダメだと思う。医者のいらない暮らし。いくつになっても健康に生きるための新常識。病気と病気未満の末病にならない生き方と考え方と生き方。健康に生き抜く秘訣を教えます。選ばれる女性のシンプルな習慣40。反応上手な女性は年齢を重ねるほど魅力が深まる。Why bad things happen to good people, but that is only half of the answer to our question. What good does it do to pray? Perhaps the less important half. In San Francisco this month, a woman suffered traumatic injuries from being struck by a driver and thrown into the path of one of hundreds of self-driving cars roaming the city street. Autonomous vehicles are driving blind in the U.S. Driving blind. Ten years have passed, 10 long, lonely years since Bill died at sea. The quantum life, there is a better way to live. Think fourth-dimensionally and work in your new assumption. There is a better way to live. They have become callous and have given themselves up to sensuality, greedy to practice every kind of impurity. Callous. Build a powerful brand to achieve career success. Secure your blog content. Register at Creative Commons, a site that provides protection and freedom for authors. 本番に強い脳と心の作り方、スポーツで頭が良くなる。すでに先を読む、時間と空間の超えた推論のする習慣のスケル。Our daily bread. Listen to counsel and receive instruction, that you may be wise in your latter days. Proverbs chapter 90. What's at stake? Real wisdom is looking at the world from God's point of view. The upside of adversity, rising from the pit to greatness. As Samuel approaches, Saul rise. I have carried out the Lord's instruction. The power of encouragement, unlock the power, redirect her life, lift up the defeated. After reading the manuscript, I was both happy to write the recommendation and intrigued by the subject matter. He so ably presented.